Hello and welcome to another episode of today's GK. I am Pooja Divedi, and in this segment we bring to you 10 questions on a daily basis from the point of view of prelims. So let's begin with our very first question. KV Kamath Committee recently seen in news is related to which of the following options? First, restructuring of loans. Second, education policy. Third, environment impact assessment. And fourth, electoral bonds. So the correct answer for this question is A, restructuring of loans. Moving towards the explanation, the Reserve Bank of India in August had set up a committee which was headed by KV Kamath on restructuring of loans which were impacted by COVID-19 induced lockdown. So KV Kamath has been a controversial person because he was allegedly involved in the Chandra Kochar case. Okay, the objective of the committee was tasked to recommend basically parameters for a one-time restructuring of corporate loans. And in September 2020, on the recommendation of the KV committee report, the Reserve Bank of India had specified 5 financial ratios and sector-specific thresholds for resolution of COVID-19 related stressed assets in 26 sectors. Now, moving on to the next question. Which of the following are the founding members of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN? So this is in news because yesterday only a comprehensive free trade agreement by the name of RCEP was signed and it was ASEAN led. So which of the following members are the founding fathers of ASEAN? First, Indonesia. Second, Malaysia. Third, Philippines. Fourth, Singapore. Fifth, Thailand. And sixth, Myanmar. So let's look at the options. Select the correct code. A, 1, 2, 3 and 6 only. B, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 only. C, 2, 3, 5 and 6 only. Or D, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 only. I am going to give you a moment to look at the options. Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand and Myanmar. So the correct answer for this is option D, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 only. Let's move towards the explanation. It is a regional grouping that promotes economical, political as well as security cooperation, and it was established on 8th of August 1967 in Bangkok, Thailand, with the signing of the ASEAN Declaration or the Bangkok Declaration by the founding fathers of ASEAN, namely Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore and Thailand. Then 10 members which are recently a part of the ASEAN are Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand and Vietnam. Hence, option D is correct. Now, let's move on to the next question. Recently, a group of scientists has reported a new genus of tree frog called striped bubble nest frog. From where? So you have to look at the options. A, Andaman Islands. B, Western Ghats. C, Northeastern region. And D, Eastern Ghats. So the correct answer for this question is A, Andaman Islands. Now let's look at the explanation. So recently, a group of scientists has reported a new genus of tree frog from the Andaman Islands called striped bubble nest frog. The biological name is Rohanizalis vittatus, and its bodily features include that its body is small and slender. It is 2 to 3 centimeter long, and a pair of contrasting colored lateral lines on either side of the body are present, with minute brown speckles scattered throughout the upper body, and light green colored eggs laid in the arboreal bubble nest. Alright, now moving on to the next question. You have to consider the following sentences about Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana, which was recently launched under the Atmanirbhar Bharat 3.0. The first statement says it is aimed at incentivizing the creation of new employment opportunities during the COVID-19 recovery period. The second statement says it will provide subsidy for Provident Fund contribution for adding new employees to establishments registered with the Employees Provident Fund organization. Now you have to look at the options. Which of the above sentences is or are correct? Option A, 1 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, both 1 and 2. And option D, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer for this is option C, both 1 and 2 only are correct. Now, moving on to the explanation. Now, Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana, which has been launched under Atmanirbhar Bharat 3.0 by the Finance Minister, aimed at incentivizing the creation of new employment opportunities during the COVID-19 economic recovery phase. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The government contribution will be such that it will provide subsidy for Provident Fund contribution for adding new employees to establishments registered with the Employees Provident Fund organization. You have to keep this in mind because the sentences might be distorted in the prelims and you might get confused. So keep these 2 points in mind, that only those organizations which are registered with EPFO and they provide employment opportunities during the COVID-19 recovery phase. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Now, next question says, which of the following ministries department operate Swarnajanti Fellowship Scheme? A, Ministry of Finance. B, Ministry of Education. C, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. And D, Department of Science and Technology or DST. The correct answer for this question is Department of Science and Technology or DST. Now, let's look at the explanation. The Department of Science and Technology has selected 21 scientists for the Swarnajanti Fellowship. The Swarnajanti Fellowship Scheme was instituted by the Government of India to commemorate the 50th year of independence of India, and it provides special assistance and support to a selected committee of young scientists with a proven track record to enable them to pursue basic research in frontier areas of science and technology. And also, the award consists of a fellowship of rupees 25,000 per month. In addition, the salary drawn from the parent institute along with a research grant of rupees 5 lakh per annum by Department of Science and Technology for a period of 5 years. Now, let's look at the next question. Tigray region, which was recently seen in news, which is a conflict-oriented region right now, is located in A, Eritrea, B, Ethiopia, C, Kazakhstan, and D, Turkey. The correct answer for this question is B, Ethiopia. Now let's look at the explanation. A large number of civilians have been brutally killed in Ethiopia's Tigray region, and amidst fighting between the local and the federal government. Hence, statement 2 is, or option 2 is correct. The Tigray region is the northernmost of the 9 regions of Ethiopia. It is the homeland of Tigrayan, Erob, and Kunama peoples. Please keep these 3 names in mind. It is bordered by Eritrea to the north, Sudan to the west, the Amhara region in the south, and the Afar region to the east and southeast. Look at the map. This is Ethiopia with the Tigray region. Ethiopia has its capital at Addis Ababa. So, moving on to the next question. Consider the following statements with reference to the National Center of Polar and Oceanic Research. So, first statement says it has established a high altitude research station named Himansh in Himalaya. It has also been doing research in Arctic region and the Antarctic continent. And third, It functions under the Ministry of Earth Sciences. Now, look at the options. Which of the following statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1 and 3 only. And D. 1, 2 and 3. So the correct answer for this question is answer D. 1, 2 and 3 only. Let's look at the explanation. The NCPOR works under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, has undertaken studies in the Western Himalayas in Chandra Basin in Lahaul Spiti, and it has been working there since the year 2013. The NCPOR has established a high altitude research station by the name of Himalaya at 4,000 meters at Sutri Dhaka, which is a remote location in Lahaul Spiti district of Himachal Pradesh. Hence, statement 1 is correct. NCPOR has also been doing research in the Arctic region and the Antarctic continents. Next question. The territory of Tristan da Cunha, which was seen recently in news, is overseas territory of which of the following options given? A. United Kingdom. B. United States of America. C. France. And D. Italy. So the correct answer for this question is option A, United Kingdom. Now let's look at the explanation. So the isolated UK overseas territory of Tristan da Cunha, which has recently established a marine protected area, we will talk about it. It's the world's most remote human settlement, declared the largest fully protected marine reserves in the Atlantic Ocean at 687,000 square kilometers. If we talk about human settlements, there are only 245 permanent residents there. And this reserve which has been created, it has been created for the conservation of yellow-nosed albatross and rockhopper penguins and many other species. Tristan da Cunha is a remote group of volcanic islands in the South Atlantic Ocean. It is the most remote inhabitant archipelago in the world, and Tristan da Cunha is a British overseas territory with its own constitution. Hence, option A is correct. Now, moving on to the next question. Consider the following statements with reference to the Code on Social Security 2020. First statement says, the draft rules provide for Aadhaar-based registration, including self-registration by unorganized workers. Second statement says, provisions has also been made in the rules regarding gratuity to an employee who is on fixed term employment. Now, let's look at the options. Which of the statements given above are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. And D. Neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer for this is C. Both 1 and 2. Look at the explanation. The draft rules provide for Aadhaar-based registration, including self-registration by unorganized workers, gig workers and platform workers at the portal of central government. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Also, the rules further provide for Aadhaar-based registration of building and other construction workers on the specified portal of the central government and the state government or the state welfare board. Provision has also been made in the rules regarding gratuity to an employee who is on fixed term employment. Hence, statement 2 is also correct. Also, the rules provide for single electronic registration of an establishment, including cancellation of the registration in case of closure of business activities. Provision has also been made regarding manners and conditions for exiting of an establishment from EPFO and ESIC coverage. Now, look at the next question. Consider the following statements with reference to emergency retrieval system. for power lines. Look at these statements. ERS is lightweight, modular and reusable. ERS can be assembled quickly at the disaster site for restoration of power in 2 to 3 days. Now, options say, which of the statements given above are correct? A, 1 only, B, 2 only, C, both 1 and 2, and D, neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is answer C, both 1 and 2. Let's look at the explanation. The ERS systems are imported and the cost is relatively high. This technological development will enable the manufacturing in India for the first time, which will be an import substitute and will cost about 40% of the imported systems. ERS is a lightweight modular system that is used as a temporary support structure to restore power immediately after the collapse of transmission line towers during natural calamities such as cyclone, earthquake or any other man-made disruptions. Alright? Also, it is made of structurally highly stable box sections. ERS is lightweight, modular and reusable. Hence, statement 1 is correct. ERS can be assembled quickly at the disaster site for restoration of power in 2 to 3 days, whereas the permanent restoration may take some time. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Now, this is a practice question for you. If you know the answer for this, kindly comment in the comment box. The question says, consider the following statements with reference to the over-the-top platforms. If you may remember, we have discussed about this concept in the In News series. Statement 1 says, these are audio and video hosting and streaming services offered directly to viewers via the internet. The second statement says, these platforms are currently working under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So, look at the options. Which of the statement given above are correct? A, 1 only, B, 2 only, C, both 1 and 2, and D, neither 1 nor 2. So, I hope you found this segment informative. We are going to turn up with another 10 questions tomorrow. Until then, stay updated and thank you so much for watching.